Good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to High Top Sports Oregon. Super excited to bring you another video. Yes, it's a bye week. We didn't get to do a call-in show. We didn't get to do any of the fun stuff, but you won. You won. You won. But first, we also won because we are powered by BetUS. And that is our proud sponsor. It powers our videos. Super excited. Go check them out, betus.com. That's betus.com. You won the bye week. No big injuries. You actually had a commitment. You actually had a recruit essentially lock down his commitment. You had a crystal ball for another recruit, and no DUIs. Nobody got caught up in some credit card fraud. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, I can't complain. USC lost yesterday. That's just an added layer of it. We absolutely love to see that. But yeah, Oregon was able to escape the bye week, pretty scathed free. No new injuries to report at this time. Sounds like practice, we get very limited information out of practice, but it sounds like practice has been going well. And Prof, we're chilling out today, man. My Seahawks are 3-0. Vikings got another win today, man. We are chilling today.
Yeah, Vikings look good. They look real good. So Gators got a win too on Saturday, so we're doubling up on the wins. Bubby played 2 games for Saturday and Sunday today. Big wins today. He combined it for 8 sacks this weekend, 7 tackle for losses, and 13 tackles. So just absolutely doing work on the defensive line. But when you got a dad watching as much film as I do, there's a reason for it. So. But let's go ahead. Let's get into why we're here, right? And let's talk about Mr. Douglas Utu, 4-star. He is the number 4 interior offensive lineman, 101 in the nation, 6'4", 317 out of Nevada, out of Bishop Gorman, a absolute powerhouse over there. What are we hearing from that? So obviously we lost one to Tennessee in the tight end. We could be swapping, right?
Yeah, this is a swap I would be more than okay with happening. Offensive line is a position where Oregon most definitely still has some work to do in this 25 class in regards to who they're bringing in. And Douglas Utu is a phenomenal addition if they're able to pull off this, flip from Tennessee. It should make Oregon fans feel a little bit better personally. It makes me feel a little bit better just knowing Desan Brame ended up heading to UT, and then, we are potentially able to get one back. But yeah, this is a really interesting, young man for me, just because there's a lot of fluctuation in his ratings. Overall, I think compositely he's sitting at like top 70 in the nation. Yeah, number 69 in the nation compositely. ESPN and Rivals, who are, in my opinion, the 2 most garbage, recruiting services out there, but they both have him listed as a 5-star according to their recruitment websites, and both a top 15 player overall in this class. Like I said, in my opinion, their recruiting services complete trash. So do with that information as you will, but it should make Oregon fans feel a little bit better. But yeah, it's really interesting to me that the crystal ball is coming in right now. It's not someone who we necessarily had on our radar. Oregon was recruiting him a little bit early, and in his recruitment cycle ultimately ended up taking a few visits, including, Michigan, USC, obviously UT there, where he ended up committing in June. But we got the end all be all Fong bomb that dropped on, what was it, Friday night, Saturday morning, somewhere in that range. And then we had another one follow with Chad Simmons, according to On3. So, Oregon fans should be really good, feeling really good about this one. And I think this is one who ultimately ends up signing the line with the Ducks come early signing day in December.
Yeah, for sure. And, just a big body. It's funny because how recruiting changes after the games start being played. You realize, ooh, maybe we need to grab an interior offensive lineman out of this class, an extra one. Maybe we see a guy that's actually exploding, and he's not going to be here like we thought. He's probably gonna go to the NFL after just a few games. So it's funny how the recruiting aspect changes in midseason, or early season, obviously for us, but midseason and into National Signing Day. A lot of kids, people think that flips happen because it's and sometimes it's a bag or whatever at the last second, but a lot of them it's because teams realize, hey, we really need some help on the offensive line, or here or there, or we're good, or this guy's probably, we didn't expect him going into the draft, he's going to put his name in. So it's very interesting how that kind of compiles and takes course.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, this one is especially big for Oregon, just given the extreme offensive line turnover they're going to have in the next year. They're going to lose big guys like Josh Connerly's, looking to be gone. Johnny Cornelius will be gone. Marcus Harper will be gone. So you have a big part of that offensive line who's going to be moving on next year. And over the last few years, Oregon's been able to bring in some blue chip prospects on that offensive line, but it's one of those positions where you can never have enough blue chip talent. And I think adding this one kind of gives you some stability in that sense. And to be real honest, it's pretty rare to see a potential guard coming in as a true freshman and being able to make an impact right away. But this seems to be like someone who could do that potentially.
Yep.
Obviously there's a lot to be seen in his development, just how he plays out at high school this year and, hopefully getting him on campus early in the spring next year. But he's someone who just, given his size and his skill set currently, projects to, be able to make an impact on that offensive line as a true freshman, which is extremely rare these days in college football.
For sure, for sure. All right, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and pay the bills here. Let's check out our sponsor, and we have a couple games tonight that are they're going to be big. So Jacksonville Jaguars, Buffalo Bills, 5.5 pound the 5.5 for Buffalo. I think. What do you think?
I'm with you. I know there's some unfortunate Jags fans around these parts, but I think they're going to go home sad. I do think Buffalo is ultimately the better team. And given that 5-point spread, I feel really comfortable with it, honestly, being able to take that spread. So I think Buffalo clears them by at least a touchdown. But then again, it's any given Sunday / any given Monday at this point. So we'll see what happens.
For sure. And then we have two double headers on Monday. First time, I think, in a long time or ever, they were saying. Go ahead and pound the under on 46.5. I think it's going to be a closer game. And then I'm probably going to take the 8 with Cincinnati. I'm not 100% sold on Washington right now. What do you think?
I would take the same line too. Cincinnati is someone who obviously they've been struggling. They're a team who historically struggles early on in the year, particularly in the Joe Burrow era. But, like we said, it's a team that typically ends up hitting their stride in mid-season and, finishes really strong. This would be an excellent game to do so against a Washington squad who we'll call them far from solid. Tons of holes offensively and defensively. So this is a great get-right game for, the Cincinnati Bengals. I think they cover that 8 as well.
For sure. And if you wanted to do a little parlay action, I would go Buffalo Bills. I would go that with the points, the 5.5, the minus the 5.5. I would go over 45.5 on the Buffalo game. I would bang it back down for under 46.5, and then I would take the points for a 4-leg parlay. And you know what? If we're wrong, we're okay. You know why? Because with BetUS right now, using the code YouTube 150, you get 150% back on your first 2 deposits up to $2,000 in the first 2 months. That is 150% back on your first 2 deposits. So next week when you log on, you could say, hey, you made us some money, or you are an idiot, but that's okay because I have those first 2 deposits. So let's go ahead and let's talk a little bit about Mr. Perry locking down his commitment. This is a little bonus, a little extra for you. We don't have much more time left, but locks his commitment down. He's solid. He's in. It's done, it sounds like.
Yeah, Cooper Perry, the top receiver out of the state of Arizona, been a commit to Oregon for a few months now. Basically announced that he is ultimately shutting his commitment down, in a few minced words, but someone who has absolutely blown up again this year. He's having a massive year down in Arizona currently. So this is absolutely something that you want to be able to lock down, the wide receiver class in this year in particular. If we're able to hold on to DeCorian Moore and Dallas Wilson is going to be, one of the best Oregon has ever been able to bring in. And I think, being able to lock down Cooper Perry is a wonderful start to it. He's going to be a guy who I don't think a lot of people are thinking of just because they're so focused on the DeCorian Moores and the Dallas Wilsons for, great reason. But I do think he's going to be someone who makes a big name in Eugene.
For sure, for sure. And then watch out for our Monday video. We'll be dropping a video about Monday, getting on to the next team. Obviously, subscribe as always. And the matchup this week is who?
We got UCLA at the Rose Bowl in a late night game this week. I think we kick off at, what did I see, 8 p.m.
Big 10
Pacific
after
time?
dark?
So Yeah, we're Big Ten after dark, man. I thought we were done with this stuff after we left the pack, but it is what it is, man. It's part of the allure of Oregon football. You know what you signed up for, being a West Coast fan. So excited to get to that one under the lights, and I think there's a decent chance that I'll end up being in attendance for this game this weekend. So I'm excited for that one myself.
For sure, and we'll have Derek grab some film and we'll cut it up if possible, even if it's just from his phone, just the atmosphere. He might ask some questions. Hopefully, he'll rock maybe the high top hoodie. We can get him to do that, and you might be famous. Listen, when Shelton goes to the swamp, he's like walking on air. Okay, like he's one of those. So it's gonna be fun. Hopefully, a couple people recognize you down there, and we will be doing the call-in show that Sunday. All late games, we're gonna just have to do them Sunday because I got football on Saturday with the kiddo plus football with the Gators. Two call-in shows. I'm zonked, and the lattes don't obviously help with that. So, yeah. So the primitive probably 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for the call-in show. That'll be an early bird for you, like 9 o'clock or something like that. But get a little breakfast in you, get a coffee, shake the hangover, whatever you gotta do, and looking for a big dub next week against the UCLA Bruins.
Absolutely, man. I as a college football fan absolutely love to kick a program when they're down, and UCLA is very down right now. So I'm hoping to go in there and just blow the doors off them. Kind of a continuation of what we were able to do against Oregon State. So I'm excited for this one. I think this is going to be a massive offensive showing for the Ducks.
For sure, for sure. All right, guys, we will see you later. Again, we are powered by BetUS, our fine sponsors, BetUS. Go ahead, check them out at betus.com, and we will see you later.